Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Muchísimas gracias por acompañarnos el día de hoy. Vamos a ver acerca de los beneficios de los Community College y voy a dejarle la palabra a Emily y a Jill. Please, Emily.
Yes, thank you for having us today. So hi, and thanks for attending this webinar to learn about the benefits of a community college. Again, my name is Emily Fox. I'm the Virtual Learning Recruiter at HACC, which stands for Harrisburg Area Community College, but more commonly refer to ourselves as Central Pennsylvania's Community College. And joining me today is Jill Matoliak. She's HACC's International Admission Coordinator, who you'll hear from later on. So today we greet you from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is in the northeastern portion of the United States, which you can see there on the map. In Pennsylvania, HACC has 5 campus locations in central Pennsylvania, as well as online learning options, which can essentially happen from anywhere in the world. So you'll hear more about HACC later, but first, let's talk about community colleges in general. Community colleges, they originated with the mission to make education accessible to everybody. So for acceptance into a community college, students must have a high school diploma or a GED. In the United States, there's over 1,000 community colleges, and there's over 100 community colleges in Pennsylvania alone. So the first community college opened in 1901 in Illinois, and the name of that community college was Juliet Junior College. The first community college to open up in Pennsylvania occurred in 1964, and that was HACC. So community colleges, they serve over half of the undergraduate students in the United States. And according to the American Association of Community Colleges, 12.8 million students attended a community college for credit or non-credit classes in 2012. So a number of celebrities have attended a community college in the past. Perhaps you recognize some of these faces here on the slide. Actor Tom Hanks, Arnold Schwarzenegger, baseball player Jackie Robinson, NASA pilot Eileen Collins, comedian actor Eddie Murphy, Walt Disney, the innovator of Disney World, and actress Halle Berry, just to name a few of the individuals who have attended a community college in the past. So community colleges work with a variety of different students, different race, gender, income level, ages. But before we delve into talking about community colleges too much, I do want to have Jill and I talk about undergraduate education as a whole here in the United States. So at this time, I'll be passing it over to Jill. Again, she's HACC's International Admission Coordinator.
Thank you, Emily, and thank you once again for joining us for our webinar. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about our undergraduate education here in the United States. There are 2 types of institutions in the USA. There are 4-year institutions, which are called colleges and universities, and there are also 2-year institutions, which are community colleges and also vocational and technical colleges. The 4-year institutions have a lot of variety and ways in describing them. There are public institutions, which are usually funded by the local and state government, and then there are also private institutions. Public institutions are usually cheaper due to receiving funding from the government, whereas private institutions are usually a little more expensive and sometimes more selective in their admissions process. Many 4-year institutions offer a liberal arts education, which offers a wide range of courses in areas of literature, history, languages, math, and life sciences. The liberal arts education is considered to educate the whole student. Four-year institutions can also have one or more of the following descriptors to describe the type of institution they are. They can be a co-ed institution, a women's college, an historically black college, or a religiously affiliated. Two-year institutions include community colleges and vocational and technical colleges. Most community colleges serve the needs of the community with training and education. There are usually 6 types of programs offered at a community college, and we are going to be talking about some of these in the remainder of the presentation. The 6 types of programs are transfer education, career education, developmental education, non-credit courses, which are for personal enrichment, specialized training for local employers, and then also virtual learning. Now that we've talked about the types of institutions, we're going to talk about the types of undergraduate degrees. So we have 2-year institutions, and you'll see on the screen there are 4 types of degrees that you can get in this area. The first one is a diploma. Diploma programs offer a concentrated study for a technical skill, and these types of programs usually are about 1 semester, and they are very skill focused. Certificate programs usually require 2 or more terms to complete, and all required courses usually focus on an occupational skill. So an example of this would be a certificate in welding. Career Associates. A Career Associates program requires 2 years of full-time study to graduate, which includes general education and specific program courses. A Career Associate's degree enables a student to start or to enter the job market immediately upon graduation. So an example of that program would be a Registered Nurse Career Associate's degree. The final type of 2-year institution degree is the Transfer Associate's degree. The Transfer Associate degree provides the first 2 years of education for a student to transfer to a 4-year institution so they can complete their bachelor's degree. Many community colleges have transfer and articulation agreements with 4-year institutions to help make the transfer process very efficient and very smooth. The Transfer Associate is considered to be the first 2 years of your 4-year bachelor's degree. So students start as a junior when they transfer to their 4-year college or university. 4-year institutions offer the bachelor's degree as their undergraduate degree. And the bachelor's degree is the highest level undergraduate degree in the United States. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some general information about community colleges before Emily and I talk more specifically about certain areas. Just some general information. The first thing I want to go over is that community colleges are public institutions and they only offer 2-year programs. So community colleges only offer associate's degree. Therefore, if you are looking to earn a higher level degree, bachelor's, master's, PhD, you would not be able to attend a community college. Many students start at a community college and then transfer to a 4-year institution to complete a higher level degree. Community colleges offer what are called 2+2 programs, and these programs are designed to help students with the transfer process to a 4-year institution. The 2+2 program has students complete their first 2 years at a community college and then transfer to a 4-year institution to complete another 2 years to receive a bachelor's degree. The 2+2 programs usually are formalized agreements between the community college and the 4-year institution. So there's usually an articulation agreement, a transfer agreement between the 2 schools, so that there's a very formalized program for the 2+2 process. The articulation agreements clearly state what classes can be taken at the community college to meet requirements at the community college, but also to meet requirements at the 4-year institution. Community colleges also offer short-term technical training programs, and these programs include the certificate and diploma programs we talked about previously. Many community colleges also offer English training programs, and these ESL programs are designed to help prepare students to take college-level English courses upon completion of them.
So Jill gave you an overview of the undergraduate education opportunities in the United States, but for the remainder of this presentation, we'd like to focus on community colleges themselves. Now, there's many benefits to a community college, and I'll be honing in on some here. One of the benefits is that community colleges have open admission. So as long as you have a high school diploma or a GED, you're admitted to a community college. Now, community colleges may have selective programs such as nursing, but community colleges do not have required criteria that many schools may have, like having a certain grade or GPA, or certain scores on a test like the SATs, or maybe certain awards or extracurricular activities. No, community colleges are open to everybody, and community colleges really pride themselves in offering academic rigor to everyone as long as they do have a high school diploma or a GED. Another benefit to community colleges is the cost. So at a community college, you're getting that quality education, but yet affordable. And you'll hear more about this on the next slide. Community colleges, another benefit is the gateway to a four-year institution. What Jill was talking about with the 2+2 plan, where you're going for 2 years at a community college and then 2 years at a four-year institution to get a bachelor's degree. That's a benefit because it's a great way for students to get their foot in the door at a four-year institution. Another benefit to community colleges are the small class ratio, which provides the ideal learning environment to you as a student. Many community colleges, they have a student-faculty ratio of 20:1 or less. So that means 20 students in a class with one faculty member, giving you a lot of one-on-one attention and time to really learn the material. Community colleges also typically have a variety of majors offered to students, which is a huge benefit because this allows the student to find a program that works for them and whatever their future goal may be. Another benefit to community colleges are the resources. There's many resources available at a community college, and we'll go into a little bit more detail as far as what some of those resources are later on in the presentation. And flexibility is yet another community college benefit. Community colleges, they understand that everyone has a unique schedule and unique goals, and that everyone's juggling different things in their lives, whether it's family or work or traveling, whatever it may be. So everybody can come through a community college and design their own schedule and have their own goals. So community colleges, quality education, but more affordable than most schools. So I pointed out cost as one of the benefits to attending a community college. The chart on this slide shows an example of a community college, a public college, and a private college in the central Pennsylvania area. Now keep in mind, every school is different. Every school has different tuition. However, this is an example to show you that, how schools line up to each other. So you can see the tuition total for a private college that we used as our example here in the central Pennsylvania area can be over $40,000 in a year. A public university can total over $30,000 for tuition in a year, but a community college is often less than $30,000 per year. So at HACC, for instance, it's $298 per credit. Many institutions are double or triple that. So while college education is often an investment no matter where you go, community colleges, they can help students reach educational goals within financial reach. So if you're interested in attending school, it's also important to be familiar with the school's calendar year. Every school is different, so understand much of what I talk about on this slide are examples of how many schools are run, but not all. So become familiar with whatever school you're attending calendar. Many schools have application deadlines. So each school has different deadlines, but community colleges are typically more flexible. So for instance, someone wanting to come to a community college may need to apply at least 2 months before classes start, but some schools require even more advanced action. With the school and calendar year, the term or semesters is also something to take a look at, and this is the duration of for how long your course will last. So college courses, they can be 6 weeks, they can be 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 15 weeks long, or maybe even something different. But many community colleges, they run on 4 semesters. So a summer semester, which would run from May through August, a summer 2 semester, which would run June through August, a fall semester, which would run August through December, and a spring semester, which would run January through May. Now there's much variation within that, but become familiar with the college semesters and its course schedules. For breaks, too, breaks are often something that occur within a college calendar where students receive a break between semesters or often for a few days during the semester as well. So for example, many U.S. colleges offer a fall break and a spring break where students are off for a few days during the semester and can take a break from their classwork. Also, a winter break is common at schools where students may have a few days or weeks off in December and January. Another thing to keep in mind with the school calendar are finals. So at the end of a semester, students typically attend finals, which often test students in the knowledge that they've learned throughout the semester. It's often a compilation of the material learned throughout the semester. And one other thing to keep in mind with a school calendar are holidays. So U.S. schools often have holidays in which students have off class. So there's a day in September, for example, where students have off for Labor Day. There's a day in November where students have off for Thanksgiving Day, a day in February for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and a day in May for Memorial Day, as well as a day in July for the 4th of July. So those holidays may be different than what you celebrate in your country. However, you're still able to have off on the holidays based off of the school calendar.
Okay, I'm going to review how to search for a community college. At this point, we're hoping that you're sitting there thinking, I want to go to a community college. Now, how do I find one? Of course, you can go to Google and you can search community college, but you're going to get so much information come up that you're going to be very overwhelmed. So if you go to the American Association of Community Colleges, their website, you will see a snapshot of the screen here. They have what is called a community college finder. The American Association of Community Colleges is the primary advocacy organization for U.S. community colleges. And this tool is fabulous. You can pick the state within the United States that you choose, that you would like to attend. So if you are looking to come to Pennsylvania, you can hit Pennsylvania, and then it is going to provide you with a list of all of the community colleges within the state of Pennsylvania, as well as some general information about the state in general and about the schools. And then it provides you with a link to all of those community colleges' websites. I'm sure all of you know there's so much information out there in the internet that this is a way to do some very focused community college searching in that area. We also would recommend that you visit Study in the USA, as well as utilize your Education USA advisor, as they will be able to assist you to narrow down your community college search as you're doing research online for schools. Then there are some things you need to consider when selecting a community college. The first thing is location. You need to consider if you want an urban or rural area and the climate. Some students want to experience all 4 seasons. Some students only want to have warm weather. So you need to just look at the different things that you like in your environment. In the location area, you also need to consider size. It is key to the location. If you're looking for a smaller campus or a larger campus, and as I said, this is really up to your own personal preference. You also need to consider academics, and a key and very important thing to consider in this area is if the school has accreditation. You want to make sure the college is recognized by a regional or national accreditation organization. This is very important in regards to if your credits will transfer to a 4-year institution. Most 4-year institutions will only transfer credits from an accredited college or university. I can tell you as an example, HACC will only transfer credits from an accredited university. So you want to make sure the school is accredited. You will also want to make sure that the community college offers the major or majors, if you have more than one area that you're interested in, available to you as your programs of study. Some other things to consider are student to faculty ratio and the classroom size, which Emily talked about both of those things a little earlier. Cost, which we just reviewed, is an important area to consider when selecting a community college as well. You want to be aware of the cost per year, but you also want to look at what the cost is going to be for you to complete that associate's degree. If it's going to be a 2-year degree or a 3-year degree as an associate's degree. The next area to consider when selecting a community college would be your housing options. Community colleges do not all have housing, and it is not considered to be a standard option as it is at most 4-year institutions. Only one of the community colleges in the state of Pennsylvania offers housing, just to give you a general idea. So you want to make sure that you are aware of your housing options for the community college that you might be interested in and what options are available to you. The last thing you want to consider when selecting a community college are activities. You want to be aware of the clubs and organizations that are available to you as a student, as well as if there are athletic teams and intramurals. This is an area that we are is going to be different at every community college, so you would want to kind of compare and contrast as you're reviewing the different schools you're considering. International students at a community college. The 4 top reasons that students attend a community college in the United States is 1, to master the English language. Some students come to the United States to master the English language and then go on for a higher level degree, while others continue their studies to earn an associate's degree. So some students might come to the U.S. to learn English and then transfer on to complete their master's or their PhD. They just need the English skill in order to complete that higher level degree. The second common reason international students attend a community college is to experience another culture. Just to come and learn the language and to experience the different traditions and culture that go along with learning English in the United States. The third reason that international students like to attend community college is the prestige of the U.S. higher education system. Many students come to the U.S. to study to help advance their careers, as a degree from the United States is considered to be very prestigious. So it's just a way to improve themselves professionally and personally. And then the fourth area is international students like to attend community colleges because of the many majors that are available. I can tell you as an example, at HACC we have 150 different programs. So it allows students to be exposed to areas that they might not be aware of, or that they might not know are a possible career option for them. We've talked about English training and English as a second language programs a little bit throughout the presentation. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about HACC's English as a second language program to give you an overview of a program. As we have said a few times in the presentation, this is just one example. Every program is going to be different, so you want to make sure that you're doing your research and finding out what the requirements are for the program that you would be considering. HACC's program focuses on grammar structure, vocabulary, and the sound system of the American English. Students develop listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills within each level. So you're working on all 4 areas within each level of the program. HACC's program has 4 levels, and students take a placement test when they arrive to determine which level they will start in. Students are not required to start at the first level. It just depends on where their English skill places them. HACC's program takes 2 full semesters to complete if a student needs the whole program. The classes are held 5 days a week, so Monday through Friday, and they meet for 3 hours a day. And the class is a combination of lecture and lab that they have faculty members assisting with. Students have highly educated and experienced faculty, and they're there to help focus on both fluency and accuracy. The program is designed to prepare students for the college level composition course known as English 101. We tell students that the English 101 is the standard English class throughout the U.S. educational system. So once you complete that, you can usually transfer that on to a 4-year college or university. I'm going to talk to you now a little bit about how to get started. I think one of the best things about a community college is that the application is a little bit more straightforward and simple compared to some 4-year institutions. The first thing a student would need to do if they have decided that they want to come to the United States as an F1 international student is they would have to complete the international admissions application. You'll see here is a screenshot of our website, and you'll see there is an Apply Now button in the upper right-hand corner. The student would hit the Apply Now button on our website to submit an application. HACC does not have an application fee, but a student is required to submit a student profile before they can fill out an application. In their profile, the student would need to answer yes to the question, are you an F1 international student? And that's important because that gets their application to me. The second thing a student would need to do after they've completed an application is submit proof of high school graduation upon with their application, proving that they have graduated from high school. Documents are not required to be originals, but they are required to be in English, and those documents can actually be uploaded with the student's application online. The third area that goes along with the application are financial support documents. HACC does require to see $24,000 in financial support for 1 year of study. These costs include tuition and fees for 2 semesters, health insurance for the full year, books and supplies, transportation, room and board, and miscellaneous expenses. Students are eligible to have more than 1 sponsor, and I would say most of our students have 2 to 3 sponsors. Each sponsor would be required to fill out the appropriate paperwork and submit a bank statement. It is important to note that we do not have any scholarships for newly admitted international students, but once you are a student at the college and have completed 12 credits, you are eligible to apply for scholarships offered through the HACC Foundation. And then the last thing we would ask for to complete your application is a copy of the information page of your passport. And this document just helps to ensure that we list your name correctly on your I-20 document. Once you are accepted to the college, I would process your acceptance and then mail you an I-20 for you to go to your embassy to apply for the F1 visa. A key thing to keep in mind at HACC is that we do not have on-campus housing. We do have an international house located in Harrisburg that many of our students live at, and I would be available to work with you to help you look at your different housing options. I'm going to review the international admissions process. Applying to the college and being accepted, of course, is a big part of the application process, but there are numerous steps in order for you to become a student at the college. So you would first need to apply to the college and support all your supporting documents. Then I will mail your I-20 packet to you in your country for you to start the visa process. The I-20 is your certificate of eligibility, and it is the required document in order for you to apply for the F1 visa. If you do not have an I-20, you cannot apply for the F1 visa at your U.S. Embassy. You will need to pay a $200 SEVIS fee at least 3 days before you apply for your visa, and there would be information in your acceptance packet about that. Once you receive your visa, you will need to travel to the U.S., to HACC, and move into your prearranged housing. And I would assist you with helping to set all of that up. You will then attend orientation at the college and take your placement test and register for classes. You are not required to pay any tuition or any fees to the college until you actually arrive on campus, register for classes. I work with you very closely after you receive your visa to make sure that your arrival to the U.S. and to HACC is as simple and as smooth as possible.
So Jill gave an overview of what it would be like to come to HACC as an international student. I'd like to focus a little bit more on the virtual learning side of the community colleges. Again, I'm the virtual learning recruiter. Again, this is Emily Fox, and I work specifically with students who are looking to take online classes. So there's some differences between them. One of the biggest reasons I think that virtual learning is growing across the world is the flexibility and the freedom that comes along with virtual learning classes. So with virtual learning classes, the classes follow a semester, and there's due dates within this semester and assignments. However, the work can be completed when you want. So you do not need to attend a class, for example, at 2:00 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Rather, you do the work online with the assistance of your professor. And it can be great if you're in a different time zone because it doesn't matter exactly when you're signing in as long as you're completing your coursework on time. Also, location is flexible. So this past semester, HACC had a student taking online classes from Egypt. This semester, we do have some students from across the world. China and India are two examples, and they never step foot on a campus. They're able to do their online classes from where they reside. So even if a student has the goal to attend on a physical campus and not fully online, we've had students start out with a semester or two online before coming over to a physical campus. This can be helpful if your details are not sorted out yet, so perhaps that may be with your visa situation, or if you missed a deadline, or maybe just financially you're not able to afford committing to attending a physical campus. Students can start out online. Also, online classes are run differently. You know, you're doing it how you want. Every class is different depending on the professor and also depending on the subject. And this is how it's done at HACC. You know, you may see some professors utilizing discussion boards where students are posting onto discussion boards. Maybe email, chat, reading through textbook or PowerPoint slides. Some professors record themselves doing a lecture and post it up as a video. Some professors utilize Skype or quizzes. So each class really is different. Now, Jill talked to you about the international student admission process. The virtual learning student admission process to HACC is very similar but different in some ways. So I do want to run through the steps to this in case you are interested in pursuing it. And know that the admission steps can look different from school to school, but this is an example of what the virtual learning steps to admission are at HACC. So the first step is to fill out the application, and that's at HACC.edu. Like Jill said, it's free to do so. From there, our students go through placement testing in the areas of math, reading, and writing, and placement testing can occur online or at a approved proctored placement testing in your area. And it's an untimed test, but it usually takes our students about 2 hours to go through that. Now, after placement testing, our students go through new student orientation, which can also occur online. This is a place where students learn about helpful policies and resources in order to be a successful student at HACC. From there, our students meet with an advisor, often through email or through the phone, to pick and register for classes, and then from there, pay for tuition. So to transition from being a virtual learning student to an international student online, just notify Jill and provide the required financial requirements. From there, students are given an I-20 to fill out visa information. So just work very closely with Jill if you are planning to start out online and then come on campus. Now, with virtual learning growing in popularity comes a variation to online learning. There's some examples of what you may see out there. Blended or hybrid learning is when half of the class is taken online and half on campus. So students may come to class once a week and do the coursework on his or her own during the rest of the week. So a lot of times if students are not sure about online classes, blended or hybrid classes are a great way to start and ease into it. Flipped classroom are very similar to blended hybrid type of learning, but students' interaction with the teacher is spent working on homework, and the lecture portion of the teacher is listened to at home online. Another variation to virtual learning are MOOCs, which are massive open online courses. It's a course that's made available over the internet without any charge. It's made available to a large number of people, and you do not get any credit for it, but it's usually a great way for students to learn about a specific area. With MOOCs, often students are required to register and complete their course throughout a specific time frame. So you may have heard of companies such as Coursera or edX or Udacity. Those are some examples of some MOOCs. Now, a similar concept to MOOCs is iTunes U courses and collections. An iTunes U course is structured like a full course, and then an iTunes U collection is a list of individual educational lessons. But unlike MOOCs, there's not a required registration, and iTunes U courses are always open, so students can access them whenever they wish and not necessarily within a specific time frame as MOOCs require. With iTunes U courses and collections, though, it does work best on an iPad. Just a little note about iTunes U courses and collections. HACC actually began offering iTunes U courses in 2012, along with 5 other institutions: Duke, Stanford, Yale, MIT, and the Open University. Since then, HACC now has over 20 iTunes U courses and over 100 iTunes U collections and over 1 million subscribers. So I encourage you to go check out iTunes U courses and collections. If you only go and check out one iTunes U course, I encourage you to check out English Essentials, which was put together by HACC's professor Alfred Seha. His course was selected by Apple in 2014 as one of the top 10 best iTunes U courses. Now, you've heard Jill and I mention by now the opportunity for students to transfer from a community college to a four-year institution to obtain a bachelor's degree. 1/3 of HACC students achieve an associate degree and then transfer to a four-year institution. And HACC does have many agreements with institutions where it's been predetermined that whatever you take at HACC will go right with you to the next institution without wasting any time or any money. And on this slide, you'll see the top 10 schools that a HACC student transfers to. Penn State is the #1 transfer school for HACC students. Now, even if HACC does not have an agreement with a school, the credits typically transfer nicely. So some HACC students have transferred into top-ranked Ivy League schools. For instance, a virtual learning student just graduated about a month ago, and she plans to continue her studies at Harvard in the fall. So you can see a picture of her at graduation. On her graduation cap, she had HACC to Harvard. So even, if HACC does not have an agreement with a school, the credits can transfer nicely into most institutions. Now, I mentioned earlier, a benefit to community college are the resources available. HACC offers many different resources to our students. Jill had mentioned the housing opportunity for international students in the Harrisburg area. Students also have the opportunity for tutoring on campus or tutoring online. It's available 24/7. As well as workshops are offered on our campus and online to help students be successful. So that may be a workshop in learning tips for reading your textbook or time management skills. Students also have the opportunity to receive counseling and advising. Career Services is available to help students create a resume for jobs or practice interviewing skills, and even make connections with the community to hopefully land a job or an internship. HACC also offers clubs. We have an International Awareness Club. We have a Virtual Learning Student Advisory Council, Student Government Association, the school newspaper, which is called Fourth Estate. So many different clubs available. Sports teams are also available at HACC. We have basketball team, cross country, golf, soccer, and volleyball. We do also have a gym available for students and campus happenings. So often there's a concert or a musical or play scheduled to take place. Crafts may be taking place on campus. Oftentimes there's entertainment in the cafeteria over the lunch hour. There's fairs that often occur on the HACC campus and trips that students sometimes go on, which may be arranged by a club or other organization to go to the zoo or to go to New York City or just local areas here. Also at HACC, we have a Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society and many, many more resources. I could talk for hours about some of the different resources we do have available, but my point is to you that community colleges and HACC, we offer many resources to you as a student, and it's really up to you to utilize those resources and make the most of your experience. So you've been given a lot of information about community colleges and undergraduate education here in the United States. Jill and I are here to help you. Our contact information is listed on this slide, and you are welcome to reach out at any point with questions that you may have. There's also some great resources here on this page, our web page, our Facebook pages, so I encourage you to utilize us as a resource as well. Thank you for attending. If anybody does have questions, we'll certainly stick around, or you're welcome to reach out.
I do see that there is a question. Someone asked if community colleges request any admissions test. I would say that is going to be different per the community college. I can tell you at HACC we do not have any required admissions test, but students are required to take our English as a second language placement test when they arrive. I think most schools that have an English language training program usually do not require a TOEFL or an IELTS score. Most schools that do not offer an English training program do have a minimum requirement for a schooler on one of those two tests. But it is going to be very specific per community college. Good question.
Well, thank you so much. That was the only question we had, and I think it was a great information, very valuable information. And please, students, feel free to contact Emily and Jill directly or our Education USA Advising Center. For those that register through Eventbrite, Jill and Emily will have your contact information, and they will be able to send you updates or just, just to say hi and see if they can help you or assist you with any questions. And we don't have any more questions. Do you want to add anything else, Emily and Jill?
I guess I'll add just thank you for inviting us, and thank you for attending, or maybe you're watching this webinar as a recording. Thank you for taking the time to learn about community colleges and pursue further education.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.